Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is D-Bird here, giving y'all a review on Justice League Action, Episode 6, Nuclear Family. So jumping right into the review, we have the nuclear family basically attacking a nuclear plant, and we switch to the Justice League. We see Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman on the screen, and Batman's explaining the whole situation. Wonder Woman is dealing with some other problems, so she won't be able to get there. Superman is in another galaxy, and Batman just rattles off like other Justice League members that can't get there in time, but there's another superhero that is on the way there. So we switch to Firestorm, and he's obviously with Professor Stein, and it gives in the episode as it goes along, it gives like backstory on how they became Firestorm together, and I did like that, and it's like introducing the character to this younger, newer audience, and I'm liking how this is like an introductory to some of the characters in Justice League. But we did see Batman like, oh, it's Firestorm. They like have a database of all the superheroes in the world, I believe, and at the headquarters for Justice League, and they have like Batman says Firestorm. He talks to himself a lot, so I don't really like that, and I'm like, okay, sure. But going back to mean Firestorm, his character has a lot of charisma and energy, and just cheesy lines. The heat is on, and kept saying it was quite annoying, but that was like the little joke for the show, I guess, continuing out the show and out this episode. So we go in, Firestorm is evacuating. So he's able to control matter on a subatomic level, changing the chemical makeup of stuff. So we see him go in, there's toxic chemicals coming out and spilling out into the rooms, and he changes it to pine scented fragrance freshener and stuff like that. So we go in, he meets the nuclear family. They tell him there was another backstory scene showing how the nuclear family was made after he got beat up by the nuclear family the first time. And it was cool that it was like an old school feel type family thing. And it was like referring back to when they were doing a nuclear test on fake towns and having the mannequins and whatnot. But this scientist created androids that were he designed them way too well, and they absorbed the blast and escaped. And how the family interacted with each other, like all the androids interacted with each other, did feel like one of those old school type families that you'll see back in the day when all that stuff was going on. And we find out that androids do not like to be called robots, but we do see that Ronald, when he is like in the heat of battle, he doesn't really think all the time, and he can cause accidents, especially with a power like his accidents can be really big and catastrophic because he can change matter and stuff. So if he's not paying attention to the stuff around him, he might actually hurt or destroy something. And I like how Stein, and they play off of Stein like that, well, Professor Stein, with his character as Stein is the one who's like clear-headed, he's aware of the surroundings, smart, tries to think out something, where Ronald is just like, oh, let's go in, have fun. I need to take out the bad guys as quickly as possible. And so they work well together. I like it. So we got the fight between him and the nuclear family. It was kind of well thought out. It wasn't too much action because they like throwing blasts at each other and whatnot. So it was okay fighting. It wasn't great or anything, but I was thinking, since he has the ability to manipulate things on a subatomic level, he could have ended this fight a lot sooner than at the end. Because I did like how at the end of the episode, he fights them, and then they like beat him, and then he comes back because he can absorb the energy and stuff like that. And he makes them their own little place inside a little glass jar, like some Brainiac type stuff. And all the nuclear family really wanted was to just live in peace and be on their own, not nobody chasing them, they don't have to hide from anyone and stuff like that. So they're just gonna blow up this reactor, taking out half the city or something, so they can just live in peace, so nobody will come and mess with them, and they can absorb the nuclear energy also. So the nuclear family did find their peace in the end with the help of Firestorm. And then Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman came in at the end of the fight. They saw the end of the fight and like how Firestorm handled the situation. So they offered him a position on the Justice League. And it was kind of funny that everybody was proud of him, like Superman and Wonder Woman, how he showed compassion to his enemies, but also didn't allow them to escape and do all these horrendous things at the same time. And they like how he handled it. but Batman was like, oh, he handled it so, even though he came out and won in the end. So Firestorm became part of the Justice League at the end. Yes, he did, I believe. And so that was the end of the episode. It was okay. It was an okay episode. It was a nice introduction to like the androids, the nuclear family, and then Firestorm. If you wanted to go and learn more about it, I suggest go reading the comics, because this is a great like showing of what these people are and how they perform in a live like a animation form. Now go and like check out the comics to get like the real feel and where these characters come from and what they do. So I suggest go see in the comics if you want to see more of these characters. And I like how the show is like an introductory to the comics and all this other wonderful stuff about the DC characters. But that's the end of this review. Thanks for listening, and have a great day. D-Bird out.